I hope you all had a fab Christmas and a happy new year to everybody. Welcome to another story presented by yours truly, Cryptids Roost. Please be so kind as to throat punch the like button and don't forget to smack the ass of that subscription button as well. This will help with YouTube's algorithm and will help promote the channel more. If you would like to support this channel and help make it grow, you can make donations to paypal.me/cryptidsroost. And don't forget to check out the merch store. All the links are below. So grab yourself a coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. I Hate My New Apartment, Part 4. This fantastic series is written by RoseBlack2222, a wonderful author over on Reddit's NoSleep. Sorry for not updating you guys. I have been super busy with my community service and extra hours at work. On top of that, more apartment related things have happened. For now, however, I'll pick up where I left off. Despite the terror I felt and Angelica's warning, I still felt an overwhelming urge to turn around and look at whatever it was behind me. I must have been turning my head without realizing to look at the creature, because Angelica grabbed my head and forced me to keep looking at her. Her hands felt ice cold against my face. "What do we do?" I asked. Before she could answer, the serpent creatures from earlier reached us. They ripped her away from me. I saw them carry her upwards, and her eyes still locked onto the giant creature. What happened to Angelica next seriously fucked me up. The creature's eyes opened up, revealing mouthfuls of sharp teeth. The teeth resembled shards of broken glass. They began tearing into her, ripping away parts of her body. She was lucky that her mind was elsewhere, because she didn't seem to feel a thing. Even as the flesh was ripped from away from her bones, she didn't make a sound. Her eyes stared at that giant abomination behind me the entire time. Those serpent things sure were efficient. In a matter of seconds, Angelica was gone. Not a trace of her was left. I was stuck in the middle of who the fuck knows where with some Lovecraftian beast right behind me. Needless to say, I wasn't exactly feeling hopeful about finding my way out of there. Without Angelica to guide me, I was like a chicken running around with his head cut off. Or is it with her head cut off, since chickens are female? Anyway, the only thing I could think of to do was to run and get as far away from that beast as possible. It must not have been interested in me, because it didn't chase me. Lucky me, I guess. Angelica was already dead, so I wasn't sure if the piece of her that would remain in those things, or if she would reappear somewhere in that space, in another place of existence, or what. I wanted to look around for something to help me, but didn't want to risk accidentally capturing a glimpse of the creature. If I had just kept wandering around, I'd just end up exhausting myself and eventually meeting the same fate as Angelica. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what I was thinking when I was performing my next action. All I can say is desperation makes people do crazy things. One of the serpent creatures was moving past me. I had thought that I acted upon without fully thinking it through. I reached up and grabbed its tail. Instantly I was lifted off the ground as it went upwards. At that point, I thought it might take me high enough to reach the spot I fell from, potentially giving me a chance to escape. Instead, it started to turn around, back towards that giant eldritch abomination. "No, you stupid Snake King! Keep going the other way!" I yelled at it. If I didn't do something fast, I was going to see the creature. I knew I could have closed my eyes. Thing is, that might have ended up leaving me even more disorientated than I already was. I had no idea where this thing liked to fly. For all I knew, it could fly me in 6 different directions, making me think I was safe to look round. Then I would end up seeing that thing and losing my mind. Before it fully turned round, I noticed another one moving past us. Without thinking, I reached out and grabbed that one's tail. Now it was carrying me away, higher than the other one had. I was relieved. That is, until it started to turn around. Seriously? I thought, grabbing another tail. That was when I realised that I could hear a noise coming from behind me. Presumably, it was that creature. The noise it made sounded like what I can only describe as a cross between hissing and humming. I figured that it must be calling the serpent creatures to it. Otherwise, they would still be going for the people high above me. I looked up and saw that a lot were already feeding on them. I knew that if I acted fast enough, I could make my way to one of those people, or what was left of them. It sort of became like playing on monkey bars. The main difference being the added challenge of trying not to fall to my death, or lose my sanity, or both. It was long and strenuous, my arms burned, and I thought at any moment they would give out on me, sending me plummeting to my death. I was fortunate enough to be able to climb onto a monster's back. It was like trying to walk on a lumpy, moving train. It didn't seem to notice me, even when I stepped on its eyes. I waited until the next one was close enough for me to jump to. At last I was finally able to grab onto someone. Their head had been eaten off, yet they grabbed me with incredible strength and lifted me. I was passed to the people above me, then the people above them, and so on. I don't know what I was expecting to happen. I thought that maybe a portal or something would open up that they would push me through. I was half right. There was a portal of some kind. Although, instead of being pushed in, I was pulled. A disembodied hand pushed its way into reality. I didn't hesitate to grab it and let it pull me up. I was expecting either that the hand would take me to some other random place in existence, or back to my apartment. Thankfully, it ended up being the latter. I was back in my room, where I was pulled down before. "What was that?" I cried out, pulling myself to a sitting position. I saw Angelica was resting on her knees beside me. "Oh, it was you who pulled me out. Thanks," I told her. "So I guess this means you'll end up here if you die. Maybe that means you can leave now." She didn't respond. She only stared blankly at me. "Angelica?" I asked, waving a hand in front of her face. Still no response. I could only guess that seeing the creature did a number on her, rendering her unable to respond to me. This leads me to believe she was acting on instinct when she pulled me up. "Well, let's see if we can get you out of here," I said, getting to my feet, then helping Angelica up. I started to lead her out of my room until she decided to jerk away from me. I looked to see why she did it. It turned out she didn't. The hands were back and yanking Angelica down. I tried to pull her away, but it was to no avail. She was pulled back down to the floor. She did say one thing to me before she disappeared from sight, and that was, "People like you are its favourite kind of meal." I didn't sleep for a couple of days after that. What did she mean by people like me? My only silver lining was that I thought I wouldn't have to deal with any weird stuff, save for some of my neighbours occasionally, for a little while. Things have been going pretty normally since then, that is until around 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I was going to head out to do some grocery shopping. When I opened the door, however, I saw that goat. It was sitting in the hall like it had been waiting for me. I wasn't sure if I should try to move past it or call someone to help move it. The goat and I looked at each other for a few moments. Then it did something I didn't expect. It got up and looked both ways as if making sure we were the only ones in the hall. From its mouth I heard in a low voice, "You and I have a common interest. May I come into your home so that we may discuss matters further?" My mouth fell open in shock. I was rendered speechless. The goat mistook my stunned silence as a yes, then trotted into my apartment. He closed the door behind me with one of his hind legs. "Now that we are alone, I can speak more freely. Tell me, friend, how has it tried to take you?" "Hold the fuck on," I cried out. "I'm still trying to process all this," I said, gesturing towards him. "You've been in this apartment for 3 months. Surely I can't be the strangest thing you've encountered." "I mean, you got me there, but I'm dealing with enough stress as it is. I don't need a talking goat on top of all that." "I can help you solve the mystery of this place." What?
I can help you with that and getting your deposit back.
You're serious? How?
I've been here much longer than you have. 2 years, in fact. During that time, I have been occasionally sneaking away from my owners to do some research.
Okay. How exactly can you read and talk?
Take a look anywhere under my fur.
I did so and saw multiple scars along his back. Jesus, I murmured. Did your owners do this to you?
Yes, I was the subject of many rituals they performed, one of which gave me the ability to read and write. Not that they know I can, so this stays between us.
I thought rituals involving animals usually involved them being... The ghost shook his head.
Not always, but it will get to that point soon. So far, they've only been performing rituals that require a little bit of my blood. I'm guessing they're trying to get the most out of me before I am sacrificed.
Why would they do that?
2 reasons. 1, sacrifices keep the curse at bay. I've seen all kinds of animals get consumed by this place, but it seems to have a preference for goat's blood. I'm not sure why it does. It just does. Maybe we taste the best or something like that. The second reason, they are hoping to use the forces in this apartment to gain power.
I was intrigued to find out that if I made an offering to my apartment, I could keep it from trying to kill me. However, since that requires getting blood on my hands, I'm not willing to do it. What sort of power? I asked.
Eternal life, immortality, mind control, things like that. Thankfully, all their attempts have ended in failure so far, aside from the one that worked on me.
You seem like you can get away from them pretty easy. Why don't you just run away?
I want to, believe me, but they have information I need to know. Speaking of whom, they'll probably be back in a little bit, so I need to get going soon. Before I do, will you accept my offer?
I thought about it a moment. All right, you seem like a nice talking goat. There's something I didn't think I'd ever say anyway. I'll need time to fully process all this though, but if we're working together, I'll need to know your name.
My name is Sal's. My owners just referred to me as the goat. I already know your name is Ethan. Anyway, have a good night. I will contact you if I find any new information.
With the conversation done, I opened my front door to let Sal's out. I saw him trot down the hall, then disappear around the corner. I finally got a couple of days off between my community service and work, so I'll need to take a little time to recuperate. I wonder if I can do something for Angelica. She did something for me and I still feel like shit for not being able to return the favour. Maybe Sal's can help me find a way too. Anyway, I need to get to bed. I'm fucking exhausted. See ya, everybody. Wow, that was an epic first episode. If you enjoyed listening to this installment, be sure to pop over to the author's Reddit profile, RoseBlack2222, and drop them a line and tell them what you think of their story. The link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. Be sure to also check out their Patreon for even more stories. The link to their Patreon will also be below. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed my narration, then please feel free to like and share the video, leave a comment below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap that notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. Have you had any cryptic sightings, paranormal or supernatural encounters, or even had a creepy or terrifying situation you would like to share? Have you written a CreepyPasta story you would like me to narrate? You can submit all your stories to cryptidsroost@gmail.com. If you wish to remain anonymous, that's not a problem. I will honour your wishes. Now I also have a new Facebook group, Twitter, Reddit and Discord. Again, all my relevant links will be below. If you would like to support this channel and help make it grow, my PayPal is paypal.me/cryptidsroost. Again, that'll also be listed below. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not.